It's Monday, babies. Let's dive into the energy of the week. Great Spirit, for the collective, for anyone seeing this, what messages do we have? What's the energy that's going to flow? Okay. So we're going to have a moment of should I or shouldn't I say this? New ideas coming through, which is going to be great. So instead of focusing on criticism, instead of focusing on where can I fixate outward as opposed to taking my ideas inward and making something real come of it with the Ace of Pentacles here. There's a balance that needs to be met that you possibly haven't really been able to create recently. And I love this for you because there is an agitation with our words and needing to understand that sometimes things need to be said, but they don't necessarily need to be said to ourselves or to others the way we think them. Because we're not always using the most compassionate lens for ourselves and for others. So where can we give credit? Where can we give compassion? Where can we give space to a moment? Where do we need to say, I can't talk about this right now because I am going to say something I regret. And if you're not careful, you're going to have some tower moments. However, when we're being brutally honest, sometimes we can make the most impact. However, I want you to take a moment before, instead of saying, something really hurtful, and I want to say something super inappropriate, like, oh, fuck, something like that. We can say something that's real and honest, and that's where we're grounding into the moment of true change. Because we have the Two of Cups here. This is going to be between two people. This is going to be between two people, either online or in person, but it's also where you're putting your energy and whether or not there is a bond there, whether or not there is an entanglement there is going to determine the outcome. So if you're wasting this energy on social media or arguing with somebody over whether or not formula is good for a baby or whether breast is best or whatever, not being personal here, it's a waste of your energy. I've never argued with someone about that, but I so would. I so would want to, and then I'd be like, well, no, it's not necessary. It's not needed. What is needed, what is necessary is focusing. I love it. Focusing on this. What gives us a sense of the stars? What gives us that clear sky, that beautiful night sky, and that feeling of, life can be so much more simple and beautiful when we get out of the way, when we get out of our own way and walk that straight line towards purpose. Because I love that this Eight of Cups is a line, is a pathway, and each cup is upright. So we're not necessarily walking away from a toxic relationship, and we could be, but it's also, there doesn't necessarily have to be the Eight of Cups is bad and this is bad for me and I need to leave it. That's toxic tarot. That's BS tarot. No, we need to honor what is and why it is for us. And if we don't necessarily have to leave a relationship to improve our life and to improve a relationship. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Either you love me or you hate me. No. Is that how you approach your life? Is that how you approach how you feel about yourself? Because if it is, that's going to manifest in your relationships. Romantic, professional, all across the board. So you need to ask yourself, where am I putting my truth? And does it really need to be said all the time? Is it necessary? And if it is, then, and it's useful, then it can have some really big impact this week. And I'd love to hear how this plays out for some of you. I would love it. But I love it. Okay. We've got justice and temperance. We need balance this week between what's going out and coming in. So before you say that thing that, I want to tell him off or tell her off or I know best, ask yourself, what benefit will you experience, if any, from saying that shit? Probably none. Because you're coming from a place of tension. And like, I have to say this. I want to say this. It's a want. The knights are immature. The knights aren't necessarily in a place of, I have wisdom behind my sword. No, it's like, fuck you, let's go. So let's make sure that the energy of let's go this week is let's go with balance and justice, which is the measure of our choices and action in this life. Yes, I love it. Okay. And let's see where we need to surrender this week. Great Spirit, where do we need to surrender? Where do we need to surrender? Okay. Surrender, denial, accept people and situations as they are. I love this because it's full circle, baby. Without denying the difficulties. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're not saying the issue or saying the hurtful thing that you think will get through to them doesn't mean that there can't be a resolution once you've calmed down and once they've calmed down. And sometimes we just have to walk away. That doesn't mean leave the relationship or cut off the person. If it's social media, yeah, just block away. Who cares? But we have to stop denying the difficulties, the pattern, because that's the root of what's really going on. It's not in the moment, you pissed me off. No, it's why did you get so pissed off? Where is this anger? Where is this need for truth coming out harshly coming from? And that's what we can get to this week. We can get under our skin and under somebody else's skin, but if we want to, we can get to the root of the whys and the hows and end those patterns. So things need to be accepted as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision, not just a decision, not just a thing that you're going to say and later be like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. I'm literally telling you, watch your mouth, okay? Don't start nothing, ain't gonna be nothing. All right, you guys, I love you, mother yourself, nurture yourself, and understand that we do not have to be perfect, although we were made perfect, and we have everything that we need to live a blissful and enlightened life. Vibe higher.